Hello, welcome to my video. Today I'll be doing IGCSE past year paper 0606 October November 2018. This is question 7. A squad of 20 boys, which includes 2 sets of twins, is available for selection for a cricket team of 11 players. Calculate the number of different teams that can be selected. If the first part of the question, there are no restriction. So it's pretty straightforward that this is a question that requires us to use either permutation or combination. And the first part, no restriction, usually comes with only 1 mark. In this case, you may have to watch out for keywords like selection. Whenever you see the keyword selection, it usually means that we need to use combination. Permutation is only used if order matters, such as lining up 20 boys where the order matter, but in this case it doesn't, because we just have to randomly pick 11 people from a group of 20. So the first part is just 20C11, and when you press your calculator, you'll be able to get the answer. Moving on to the second part. How about when both sets of twins are selected? So the first part, we don't have to worry about the detail, the twins, but in the second part, we have to start looking at different ways if the twins are being included. So when both sets of twins are selected, we need to be careful. Here is 2 sets of twins, so which means that in a team of 11, there are 4 people that we must select, and there are these 2 sets of twins. My way of doing it is, of course, draw out the 11 empty spaces. So these 11 empty spaces are the spaces that we need to be filled in with these 20 people. So anyone can be standing on these spaces, but 4 of them are already occupied by these 2 sets of twins. So I will put a bracket, or like I will frame then, and 11 minus 4, which leave us only 7 spaces to go with. And these 7 spaces, who will be in here? It will be anyone who are not in this set of twins, anyone that is not being selected yet. And because the twins are selected, we have to minus these 4 people from the total of 20. So it's 16 people we have to select. We have to fill in these 7 spaces from the remaining 16 people over here. After you understand the picture, I become pretty straightforward that all we have to do is 16C7. We have to type this in a calculator, because we already know that we have to select 7 people from this 16 people. And because order doesn't matter again, in this case, we still use combination. And moving on to the third part. 1 set of twins is selected, but neither twin from the other set is selected. So there are 2 sets of twins. Let's say the first set of twins, we call it twins A. And the second set of twins, we call it twins B. So only 1 set of twins is selected. In another word, which means that in this 11 people here, these 11 spaces over here, only 2 are occupied. And this 2 represents 1 set of twins. And then the remaining spaces over here, we have to decide who will be in the team from the remaining people. But we have to be careful that in the remaining people over here, we only have 16 people to choose from again, because we cannot include both sets of twins, which means that we have to exclude all the twins first, because we cannot include both of them, but we will leave 2 spaces for 1 set of the twins. Again, it becomes 16C, but then this time instead of 7 like the above, it becomes 9, because we have 9 spaces. So the And the 16 people, the 16 remaining boys here, we will choose 9 people this case. However, we mustn't forget that this is only one set of the twins. This is twin A, let's say. So another possibility is that the set of twins that's selected is actually twins B. So all we have to do is to simply multiply by 2, where it's still 16C9, but then we have to multiply by 2. Another case where the set of twins are different. So this is the only part you have to be worried about. And we come to the last part of this question. Exactly one twin from each set of twins is selected. So at first it may be a bit more complicated than the previous parts of this question, but do not worry. Again, start by drawing out your spaces, the 11 spaces which are available for people to be filled in, and then exactly one twin from each set, which means that there are still 2 spaces being occupied, and this is the part that we may exclude from the combination calculation over here, because one twin from each set, in another word, means that 2 people will definitely need to be in the team, and these 2 people will come from the 4 people, and the 4 people are the 2 sets of twins. So which leaves us the remaining 9 spaces to be filled in, and we have only 16 people to choose from, again, for the remaining 9 members in the team, because we have to exclude all 4 of the twins. We cannot have more than 2. We cannot have all the twins inside the team. We cannot have one team. We cannot have any one of the twins inside the team. So we have to exclude all the twins over here. And for this part, it's pretty straightforward. All we have to do is, again, go with 16C9, where we have 16 people to choose from to fill in the remaining 9 spaces. But the only part you have to watch out for is the 2 people being selected over here. So the 2 people here, we can only choose from the 2 sets of twins. And then the twins, they cannot be together. You cannot have 2 triangles together. But because even though they are twins, they are still different people. So you can have one of the twins from T1, twins 1, pair with the other twins, any one of the twins from twins 2. Here I represent them using different shapes. So there are 4 different cases for us to consider. You may draw it out during the exam, where one of the twins in T1 will pair with the other one from T2. So these are the 4 possible combinations over here. And because there are 4 different possible combinations, it means that there are 4 different possible ways that can be filled in these 2 spaces in the team, while the remaining here remain the same as 16C9. So all we have to do is to 16C9 multiply by 4, since there are 4 different cases to be selected for the twins. When you press your calculator, you'll be able to obtain the answer. This is how you usually will carry out your working for the last question, and it's 2 marks, where 1 mark will be given if you have written down 16C9, and another mark will be awarded if you have obtained the final correct answer if you manage to multiply 16C9 by 4.